Hello everyone, this is Swtorista here, back with another Star Wars Republic video. Today I have for you guys another Star Wars Republic discussion video. In today's discussion video, I'm just going to be going over something I thought would be pretty cool to talk about. That's going to be the argument that I see it pretty often on the forums and Reddit, that this game is quote-unquote dead. So I just wanted to, talk about this since it is a topic that a lot of people talk about every now and then. But it still is important to just go ahead and just talk about this, issue and what a lot of people seem to say when it comes down to Star Wars Republic. So if you guys enjoyed the Star Wars Republic discussion video, as always, if you guys enjoy these videos, then make sure to leave a like. And if you guys want some of these gaming glasses, then check the link down below. No scope gaming glasses, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I'll see you guys in the discussion. Alrighty guys, let's get into the discussion right now. So in this discussion video, I'm actually going to try to look into the argument as best as I can without having an unbiased opinion. Now I know it's going to probably come off to me, as you know, they say it's going to come off that I'm being pretty biased because obviously I do play this game pretty often, but I just wanted to go over the argument that a lot of people say. Now for some reason, when I check the Star Wars Republic forums, I often see the topic where people say, Star Wars Republic is dead, this game is completely dead, no one plays it anymore, go find a different game and all that different stuff. Now, I guess you could say, in some sense, they are right about certain aspects of the game, but they aren't, right about the whole entire game as a whole. Now, I think the reason people say the game is dead is because they likely are someone that has played through PvP and the operations and such, and obviously, there hasn't been really too much new content. I know that they're going to be releasing their new Warzone and the new game type along with it, which is pretty cool, but even then, a lot of people are getting really fed up with Bioware not, releasing this certain type of content that some people are asking for. And it seems like Bioware understands that the story content is starting to drive some players over here since they want to see the new Knights of the Fallen Empire story. So that kind of makes sense that a lot of people just want to go in and see the story and just understand exactly what's happening. But even then, I can see why some people say that, but usually the people who say the game is dead are likely players that have been here for quite a bit and they just don't like that there are not really any new operations coming out as of recently, and I really hope that they do eventually release new operations because they are really fun, but as of right now there is really no information about it, and they've just been really delaying the internal championship. So I mean, in a sense, another reason people are saying the game is dead is likely because the HK rewards, the amazing 10 out of 10 meme. Now the reason people are saying that obviously is because like I said, they just keep on giving us HK rewards, and based off of certain things, seems like there's even more stuff about the HK rewards coming soon. So definitely people are really irritated by that, that Bioware is embracing the HK meme. They're just, constantly releasing new stuff based around HK. So I guess that's one thing right there. People are getting fed up by that. And then people are just getting fed up that it's being mostly story content, and you just get, about an hour and a half of gameplay. Or not even that, sometimes it's only an hour based on the chapter. And then, you just have to wait another month for the next one. So I can see why some people, have that argument, and I'm just gonna now go over some of these reasons I believe that this is, wrong in some ways. Even then, like I said, people can have their own opinion. That's completely fine. I'm not saying, your opinion's wrong, and that, this is completely wrong. The game is, just all this stuff is wrong. The way that Bioware is doing this is completely right, 100%. But even then, I can agree with some points that people don't like. Like I said, certain aspects of the game are currently dead. For example, obviously the operations. I think it's really cool that they actually rescaled the operations. That's something I really like that they did. But even then, I can understand and can relate that, having a new operation would be fun. Now, even then, I can agree, like I said, that there are some points that people do bring up pretty well, but that doesn't exactly mean the game is dead. I just don't really understand why people think a game is dead because the content that they want isn't being released, and that completely ruins it. Even then, I know that there are a lot of people that I've actually seen in Star Wars Republic just on the starter, planets and stuff. When you come into the game and you're just completely new to it, you haven't played anything in Star Wars Republic, definitely seems like a really huge and really fun game. But when you start to get through everything, and then it really comes down to you subscribing purely for each chapter, then I can understand why people can start to get pretty irritated and just think, wow, this game is dead, they aren't releasing as much content. But even then, if you were to just jump in to Star Wars Republic, just not really looking into anything on the game, just, jumping in just straight through, then you would be very surprised because there'd be tons of stuff to do while being subbed, because there'd be all this different, PvP, war zones, all these different operations, and they would be really new to you. But I say when it comes down to it, people start to, like I say, they start to go through the phase where, you know, they've done mostly everything in the game and they start to get bored of it. I mean, I've said this in discussions before, but I just try to balance out this game with other ones. Because even then, I can understand, I mean, if I were to just play this game purely and nothing else, I could feel, you know, I could get bored and likely unsub sometime. But that's the thing. I guess say when you really, I say play a MMO really hardcore, you know, you just play nothing else besides this MMO, then I can understand why people can get, you know, really bored of it extremely fast. And I do really enjoy this game, but I can agree that there are some things that can be, you know, noted that can be some, I guess say, downfalls to it. Now, anyways, besides that point, I do want to go over the positives and why I believe that this, I guess say, argument of that the game is dead is wrong. Now, one thing that I do notice is usually the people that make the argument that the game is completely dead and no one plays it anymore are usually the players that, you know, one thing is either they go through all the content and they start to get, or say they understand the content drought that's currently happening and then they decide to unsub from that, or they just want to constantly just say, you know, the game is dead. Now I noticed this a lot on Reddit actually. It seems like a lot of people on Reddit, or actually not really a lot, but sometimes every now and then there will be a user that actually joins into the game and just says it's dead, and then someone actually makes usually a valid point. Someone will say, you know, people have said that the game is dead this so and so amount of time. You know, they said it was dead at launch. They said it when free to play was released. They said it was dead when Rise of the Heart Cartel came out, when Shadow of Revan came out. Even people said it was gonna die the second Knights of the Fallen Empire came out. But as you can tell, a lot of people seem to think that the game is completely dead all the time, and then it ends up, you know, just staying through everything. Because I mean, even then, I can understand that, you know, there are some issues and then they want to, you know, resolve them, but sometimes they don't go, I guess say, in the best way of doing it. Also, one thing I did notice is also, you know, that it seems like they aren't really focusing too much, like I said, on the operations. It just seems like they are just constantly, you know, just kind of planning too much on the story. And I can understand that because I guess when it comes down to the audience that enjoys the story, that they want to see all that different stuff. But even then, I guess you say when it comes down to a veteran player that plays all the time and plays very constantly of the game, just plays, you know, their weekend they just play hours on end just trying to play through the game, complete all the story and whatnot. And I can understand why people can start to get irritated by that. And I like to, you know, keep the game fresh by doing all these different challenges and doing all this fun, different stuff. But when Bioware doesn't do that stuff right there, people start to, you know, get a bit angry about that. Now, another thing I do notice is, like I said, I mean, a lot of people understand that, you know, it seems like Bioware is now taking the story approach to the game. It seems like they are focusing more or less on the story very much, or actually a ton right now, because it seems like that's what's working out with them. Now, even then, I understand that the internal championship is likely going to be a disappointment to players that, you know, constantly do the harder operations, because even then it seems like they're trying to gear it towards, you know, players understanding different mechanics and stuff. But even then, I'm still down to try, because it still seems like it would be pretty fun to do. So that's something to look forward to. Even then, I can understand why some players don't want to play the game anymore, like I said, because if you start to play through everything, then I can understand why people exactly, you know, they don't like certain things. Because even then, I can even say, you know, I haven't completed all these stories in the game. Actually, I haven't completed almost any of these stories in the game, which is very surprising. I mean, I've played this game for a long time, and I can even say, you know, I haven't completed the stories. I don't really know. I just like the end game stuff. I guess say just doing all these different challenges and stuff. And then when it comes down to story, you know, I like the story, but even at the same time, you know, I'm just like, you know, I like constantly doing the end game stuff, then optimizing my gear, and then just going through stuff, just trying to buy a bunch of different gear in the game, just doing all that different stuff. But yeah, I like to spend credits usually very rapidly on some different toys and stuff in the cartel market, so that's pretty cool. But honestly, my main point I want to get to is, honestly, there are some points and aspects that can be considered dead in the game at the moment that likely won't be dead soon when eventually Bioware does announce something. But even if they don't, I can understand where some people come from, where they think the game is dead because they don't like certain design choices and the game is dead to them. But I feel like there still is some options that people can still enjoy and do in the game. Like I said, I like doing challenges, I like doing all that different stuff, because I feel like I find enjoyment in it. But yeah, guys, one more thing I do want to say before I go that I really enjoy about this game is the community. You know, from the Reddit posters, the YouTubers, the Twitch streamers, the bloggers, and the fan sites. Overall, there's so much to do with this game and the community that uploads content and just gives their personal views on stuff. Make it the game so much better, honestly. So I will try to link a bunch of different YouTubers and, you know, the fan sites and all that different stuff down below, because I feel like it is also really important, like I said, because I mean, there are many people in this community that like to also post content and talk about different stuff. I feel like it is important to just go ahead and just, you know, give credit to them as well. Because I mean, even then, without this whole entire community just uploading all these videos, then I feel like SWTOR would also not be at where it is today. So I hope you guys enjoyed this social public discussion video, just going over, you know, my views on is the game dead and the argument and all the different stuff right here, and why I think the game is still really fun and I don't think it's dead. As always, if you guys enjoy these videos, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.